As graphic new sexual misconduct allegations emerge against Matt Lauer, he released a statement saying that there are no words to express his sorrow and regret for the pain he's caused others. He notes that some of what's being said is untrue or mischaracterized, but there's enough truth here to make him feel embarrassed and ashamed. So some people are saying, well, okay, it's a good apology.
Well, he's basically saying some of it happened.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's good enough to indict you.
I think he has to. I think he's owning up to it, but there seems to be, if you noticed the news cycle yesterday, it was like every time you refreshed your phone, there was a new article coming out. And I think I'm seeing the reason he might have said some of this is untrue or misinterpreted is there were some things that, like, for example, the button they talk about on the desk, executives and high-level people have that all over that building and also in other industries.
Can you explain
what the button is it's pretty much like when you're in a meeting, even tech managers have these. You sit across from someone and let's say there's an HR, you're having a conversation and you need it to become a closed door meeting. You push this button that just closes the door.
But it doesn't lock it.
Well, I think it might be able to be, I'm not for sure, but I know the big thing for the button, the way that it was capped in this article was this button was built for Matt and all this stuff. Every executive had it, and it kept you from yelling, went to a door, come in, come in, come in, you know, like, so everyone.
The allegation is uncomfortable, though, if a door's shut behind me. If I were in an office and an executive shut the door, if it's locked or not, it would make me uncomfortable. I know in the Senate, they don't have that. The only button my father has in his office is a button to call the police if, God forbid, something happens. There's no door that opens and closes, so they should maybe reassess that.
They did have it at CNN, I'll be honest.
But I think the reason is a lot of meetings, if you've ever met with executives, they have to be closed doors because the newsrooms are wide open. So a lot of meetings you had were either confidential, high level, or HR.
Well, maybe they should get rid of that and have a nurse in there.
But by the way, there were glass...
a nurse? Like the doctor does.
There were glass windows, too. So it's not like these are dark rooms where you're getting shut in. That's where I'm saying I can see details, having grown up over there and seen it in other buildings where that was couched as something disgusting, and you're kind of looking at it, you're like, wait, but everyone had like that. They're piling on a little some detail that you know to be not exactly what they're saying.
I think it's important that he did come forward and say, you know, I apologize, I'm embarrassed, I'm ashamed, and at least acknowledging that some of this did happen, and a significant amount of it, so much so that he was fired from his place of employment. He'd been there for 20 years. But my question is, you know, how do we go forward? Because 98% of companies have sexual harassment policies. 70% of companies have sexual harassment training. Well, that clearly isn't enough. And
so the NDAs, like the non-disclosure things we talked about, that's a big problem.
Or maybe give accountability. You know, there has to be this zero tolerance policy. Process, yes, because I know Whoopi and I, we've talked about having due process, but I saw a big change in schools when there was that zero tolerance for bullying. Immediately, parents took it more seriously, teachers took it more seriously, and I think it helped a lot. Why can't we do something like that?
Because, listen, what needed to happen has happened. It's become a dangerous thing to do to women. It is now, that's what you have to make it. You have to make it something that could cost you your livelihood.
The accountability.
It has, because in order, I think, for women to feel like they're being heard, there has to be something that makes somebody pay attention. And we haven't had that before. So now there is this thing where, you know, people are going to err on the woman's side now.
Yeah.
And it could be very, very hard for you.
I agree with that.
I'm sorry. And that's what I think is needed.
That accountability.
So that now, you know, and I don't know when this is going to end, because I have to tell you there's one more.
Oh, God.
Right before we went to air, Russell Simmons said he's stepping away from his companies over sexual misconduct allegations.
Didn't see that one coming.
No, I
didn't see that one coming.
It's just like, vroom, vroom. I mean,
where's the bottom?
Everywhere.
I don't know where the bottom is, but I know that the initial thing that needed to happen, which is what people ask for in network, go to your windows, open it, yell, we're not going to take this anymore. Well, women have decided we're going to en masse take care of this. And it is no longer acceptable, and it's dangerous because women will take you down now. They're not playing. They're, as a group.
And I think the problem was always money. Companies, like we heard that one allegation, I forgot which one it was, if it was Bill O'Reilly or Roger. Bill O'Reilly, they said, someone went to HR and they said he makes too much money, kind of like that's the problem.
Is that a direct quote?
That seems
the one very, I mean...
No. The woman was saying he makes too much money, I can never take him down. Well, that's what she said.
He was called the
He
was the 800-pound gorilla
No,
at
but
the time.
this was a quote. She was in an article that she said she went in and they said he's the $50 or $50 million man or something.
I saw Gretchen Carlson yesterday on CNN, and she was saying that this is a cultural revolution. I think that's what's happening right now.
Let me just finish my point. I think the point I was making was that now, whereas companies couldn't afford to lose these offenders before, they can't afford to keep them now.
Can't afford to ignore it.
They've made it. Women have made it dangerous.
For the time being, don't get so excited.
Yeah,
but this has not happened before. No, you should be excited.
Because I'm cautious. I went to Anita Hill. I saw what happened.
Oh, listen.
Things stopped.
Anita Hill didn't have all the women power that women seem to have now.
No, it's different.
There was no support.
The Me Too.
Can I say one thing that Joy and I will agree on? Our president is someone who's been accused of sexual assault. We're going to talk about a bunch of politicians that haven't, a bunch of them on both sides. So I agree with you that I'm also cautious because we're still electing people. We're going to talk about Roy Moore soon. Like I think in corporations, yes, but in politics, it doesn't seem to be permeating.
Well, we'll get to that. But I'm going to finish my thing, which is why I am happy about this. I am going to be excited about this because I want women to know that this is what you do. This is how you handle this. And we are here, as we said several months ago, what needed to happen was you needed something that said, ooh, I better not do that. Yeah. And this is, I mean, look, who thought Matt Lauer was going anywhere?
Oh, I know.
Or
Bill O'Reilly.
Be excited. Be excited as you want. Just be cautious. That's all I'm saying.
I'm cautiously optimistic.
Also, Gretchen was saying yesterday that the women who came out and have been subjected to this shouldn't have sacrificed their careers and should be getting jobs as well right now, which I do think these women who have come forward who are incredibly brave to do so should be given a second look at work. That's why I was saying yesterday I think Ann Curry should come back.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of
They want to, if NBC wants to repair their image, they should put Ann Curry on the panel with Hoda and Savannah. I've been watching the three of them. Let's see how that goes.
We'll see what happens. Now, politicians are taking a different approach to sexual harassment claims. Congressman John Conyers says he's not stepping down over his allegations. And here's what Senate candidate Roy Moore has to say about his accusations. Take a look.
They're liberals. They don't want conservative values. They're the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender who want to change our culture. They're socialists who want to change our way of life, putting man above God.
Oh, God, he is just...
But the women that accused him of have made these allegations are straight, heterosexual. Some of them are Trump supporters. Who are the lesbians and the people he's talking about?
It's the otherism you talk about, that fear-mongering of it's those evil people, the gays.
But those aren't the people that are accusing him of
No, but I think that's how you play to your base, is you're saying, because he has a very strong stance against LGBTQ, and he's compared it to bestiality. So this man has a moral... or he thinks he's standing on a moral high ground with this point.
That argument that he made was so crazy.
It's ridiculous.
I hope people that are voting in Alabama see that for what it is.
I'm going to tell you something. This guy's probably going to win.
Really?
Yep.
What's that?
My money's on him still winning.
I think he's going to win.
So, yes, and I will tell you that I feel the need to say this every time he's on TV. This is a Breitbart guy. He's not a conservative guy. Mitch McConnell put a whole other candidate down, went down, campaigned for him, Trump campaigned for him. This is not who Republicans wanted. This is a disaster, no matter what happens.
This is not who the conservatives want. This is not anybody that anybody we know wants.
He wins or loses Republicans. This is a huge problem for us.
Doesn't he consider himself a Republican conservative candidate?
Yeah, Breitbart does, but I don't.
Yeah, but Trump is backing him because he has to.
But
he is now.
He won't go down and campaign for him.
No, but he already said, fine. Well, I don't believe the women.
Yeah,
you can't believe his women, and you're not going to believe his women.
It's so uncomfortable for me to sit and watch that, though, because I do think there are people in the country who think that this is representative of all conservatives, of all Republicans, and he is a gross I can't say on television because it's X-rated, but he's not what represents my party.
Go ahead.
Oh, just to, when you know how when I was making that point about Bill O'Reilly, just to clarify, it was a quote. Kristen Powers, USA Today columnist, said she complained of inappropriate comments made by Bill O'Reilly, but was told by then Fox News chief Roger Ailes there was nothing he could do about it because O'Reilly made too much money.
I worked with Kristen.
I
worked with Kristen.
But what I mean is that I was quoting an exact thing that companies would tell people when they made a complaint that they made too much money.
But you know, when there is no heat under your butt, when the fire is not under your ass, you're not gonna move. You know. We'll be right back.